So thank you very much for joining us today in this webinar where we are going to announce a new opportunity under Access to Space for All, together with the Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center. I'm Jorge del Rio, and I will be the Master of Ceremonies today. So the ceremony that we have before us is basically describing the agenda. We will have a small introduction about the initiative. Then we will have the director of the office, Ms. Simonetta Di Pippo, that will speak about the announcement opportunity. Then His Excellency, the director of Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center, will also provide a statement. And then we will be answering questions that you may have concerning the announcement opportunity in the limited time that we will have at the end. We are planning to host another webinar that will be more in detail, talking about what the opportunity is and the technicalities of the opportunity. So we will allow you time to study the documentation that will be made available today, and we will host a new webinar. So don't worry if your question is not answered today, we will have time to answer your questions. This announcement that we are making today is under the Access to Space for All initiative. The Access to Space for All initiative is a flagship of the United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs. This initiative has allowed to deploy several satellites from different countries that didn't have a satellite in orbit before, has allowed institutions in different countries to perform experiments in microgravity, has allowed the creation of a lot of talent and training of a lot of talent, and you can see many examples in the slide that I'm sharing with you. There have been also a number of publications made on the opportunities that are offered under this initiative, peer-reviewed papers at high scientific level. The initiative is contributing to the Sustainable Development Goals, to the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development of the United Nations. And we are using the initiative to showcase how space can contribute to the Sustainable Development Goals. And every applicant that is applying to one of the opportunities under the initiative is asked to actually establish the link between what they are trying to do with their experiments, their payloads, and with the Sustainable Development Goals, and establish the connection. And there you can see some examples in the screen. There are connections with experiments that are with good health and well-being, Sustainable Development Goal number 3. There are connections with Sustainable Development Goal number 5, which is about gender equality, and many others. The way the initiative is structured, the initiative aims to provide research and orbital opportunities for UN member states, and in particular developing countries, to access the benefits of space. The initiative is not done by the office alone. We are having different partners that allow us to offer access to those facilities and infrastructure, and you can see the list of current partners under the Access to Space for All initiative. We have space agencies, we have research institutions, and we also have entities coming from the private sector. The initiative is structured on 3 tracks that are aimed to develop specific capabilities. Hypergravity and microgravity track that aims at developing the capability of being able to develop experiments in microgravity. The satellite development track, and the name is very self-explanatory, but aims at providing the capability to member states of being able to deploy satellites in orbit, and the space exploration track to basically broadening the engagement in space exploration among countries. Each of the different tracks that I was mentioning before has 3 components. A hands-on component, which has hands-on opportunities, and today we are announcing a hands-on opportunity. A tools component that offers a list of open source tools that can be used to actually apply and make better applications to the hands-on component opportunities, and an education component that provides the theoretical basis to actually benefit better from the other 2 components. This is how the hands-on component looks like. There you can see the hypergravity and microgravity track, the satellite development track, and the exploration track. In the satellite development track, you can see PHI, which is a name that is probably familiar to all of you that has joined this announcement, because the announcement that we are making today is about PHI. There you can see that is under the satellite development track, and it's an opportunity with Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center. And to introduce the opportunity and to talk about more about the partnership that we have with Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center, we have the director of the office, Ms. Simonetta Di Pippo. Director, you have the floor.
Thank you, Jorge, for this very interesting presentation. And I would like to say that it's really a honor for me to be here with all of you ahead of an exciting announcement with our great partners from the Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center. Well, space is a game changer, and this is even more true today than yesterday. Innovation, new services, data generation and gathering for so many different fields of application, all this feed into building a better world from Earth orbit. It is encouraging to see that more and more stakeholders, and indeed member states, gradually come to realize the transformative power of space assets. Historically, as you know, almost 90 countries have had a satellite in space until now, a contrast to only 50 at the beginning of the past decade. These developments are telling us that we are on the right track. However, let's not rest on our achievements. The job is far from being done. The United Nations, well, we have 193 member states. So despite the rapid pace at which the space sector is advancing, it is our responsibility as the space community to accelerate bridging the capabilities gap between, but also within countries. The reasoning is simple. Reducing inequalities is of a paramount importance across the board of industries, services, access to finance, but also on the individual level, advancing skills, knowledge and career and education opportunities for everyone, everywhere. In this context, at the Office for Outer Space Affairs, stemming from the very nature of the United Nations as such, we are fully devoted to creating a more just, equal, and diverse space domain. Leaving no one behind, that is the mantra we follow. Employing our convening power, we listen to the needs and available solutions. And as a capacity builder, we translate this understanding into a fully fledged effort to bring a positive change to the sector that lies at the core of our mandate. The Access to Space for All initiative is one of our flagships from this perspective. Employing triangular cooperation and utilizing the unique position of UNOOSA and the UN, as well as vis-a-vis the stakeholders, we are delivering the promise of a better future all around the world. It led a team of engineers from Bolivia to run zero-gravity experiments with smart materials that can be used in medicine. The very same group of talented individuals has taken part in the development of a low-cost ventilator in Bolivia. It provided building blocks to Kenya to develop human capital capable of putting the first satellite of Kenya in orbit, join an international astronomical network, and be part of an international effort to develop instruments to monitor climate change in Africa. It fosters international cooperation of Central American countries to build a joint satellite to advance the use of space assets for sustainable development in the region. And I could continue on and on. The Access to Space for All initiative is really groundbreaking. None of this, however, would have been possible without the generous support of our partners, space agencies, the private sector, and even academia. And it is with great excitement that the new partner is joining us today. The Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center has been a long-standing partner to UNOOSA across many activities, and I cannot be thrilled enough to announce your involvement into Access to Space for All. Expanding our portfolio is critical for advancing the democratization of space benefits. Engaging with the Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center in a triangular cooperation provides a new opportunity to make a real difference for our member states. By hosting one or several payloads in a combined volume of 5 units in a novel platform developed by the Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center, the so-called Payload Hosting Initiative, we will contribute to enhancing research and development and support innovation through technology development and demonstration. We are grateful to MBRSC for their devotion to expanding access to space benefits. Space is key for achieving and monitoring the SDGs. In this announcement of opportunities in the other, under the Access to Space for All initiative, we ask proposers to indicate the links between their technology and the activities conducted with and within the SDGs. And this is really critical. We are in the decade of action to accelerate the fulfillment of these multilateral pledges, but this is also the decade of space. This is no future that I can foresee in which space will not play a fundamental role. In this regard, UNOOSA and the Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center share the same values, and this new partnership is an actual presentation of our mutual interests. I cannot wait to see outstanding applications to this opportunity. To close, I must underline that working together, there are no barriers to what we can achieve. And I'm confident that this opportunity will lead to great progress in our joint mission to improve the well-being of peoples, combat the climate crisis, and advance sustainable development at large. So I thank you all for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director, for your kind words for the initiative and for describing the opportunity. I would like to introduce now His Excellency Salim, Mr. Salim Humaid Al-Mari, Director of MBRSC. Director, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Jorge. Thank you very much, Simonita. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to speak to you today. This occasion marks another milestone in our quest not just to take our program, the UAE Space Program, to the next level, but also to work very closely with our partners, the United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs, UNOOSA, and today specifically the Access for Space for All initiative that will provide many nations, hopefully, an excellent platform to launch their satellites into space. Of course, this follows an agreement that we signed jointly with UNOOSA during the International Astronautical Congress, the IAC, that we hosted in Dubai in October of last year. This agreement seeks to facilitate a greater understanding of the benefits of using satellite-related technologies and, of course, teaching the operations of small satellites in space. Our partnership with UNOOSA hopes to increase the number of countries that are actually benefiting from launching their satellite payloads into space, basically as a prior step to completing, hopefully, their own full satellite advancement, including, obviously, the technical know-how, engineering capabilities, and all of the associated infrastructure that comes with developing your own payloads or own satellites. As a cost-effective and modular satellite platform, the Payload Hosting Initiative, PHI, will help enable entities which will be selected for the program to leverage the many socioeconomic benefits it affords for their own communities. By providing the opportunity to host payloads, UNOOSA and MBRSC will additionally raise awareness of the important role that space science and technology plays in promoting sustainable development, as well as contribute to building national capacity in spacecraft engineering, design, and construction. In recent years in the UAE, we've had, in our young space program, we can say, some big successes that we are happy and proud of. Some of those include the launch of the Emirates Mars mission, the launch of the UAE's first astronaut program, and also looking ahead, we plan to launch our first rover. This will be the first object from the Arab world to land on another celestial body. So this rover will be landing on the moon in October of this year. as well as also a joint analog mission that we are running currently with Russia. So we have a lot of programs that we're currently developing. And one key aspect within all of these programs is collaboration. So working internationally, that's one of our key objectives, and collaborating with all countries of the world to achieve our objectives has been our approach. And that's what we see as a successful model to replicate. So we hope this will inspire many collaborative initiatives in space exploration going forward. And of course, we look forward to working together with many countries that would be applying to hopefully have their payloads on the PHI satellite. Thank you very much and have a pleasant day.
Thank you very much, Excellency, for your introduction to the initiative. To all of you who are attending, I would like to now to show you where the information about the initiative, the opportunity is in the webpage of the office, so you can easily locate the documentation. You have my colleagues Hazuki, Webmin, and Pavel that have been posting information in the chat, but I will just guide you through the webpage so you can find the information. So I hope that you can actually see my screen. If you go to the website of UNOOSA, you will have information about access to space for all. That's in the main page. You can actually read more. You will be directed to the webpage of the initiative, and under opportunities, the satellite development track that we have mentioned, you have the different components, and one is PHI. There you will find all the information related to this opportunity. For the application to the opportunity, if you click on Rounds and Materials, you find all the materials that you will need to complete your application. You will find the announcement opportunity that describes how the opportunity is structured, the application form template that you will have to use to actually apply to this opportunity, the user guide to actually understand the platform that is provided, the payload hosting platform that is made available by MBRSC. And in case you are a private company, and private companies are allowed to apply within the conditions of the announcement opportunity, you will have to fill in a due diligence form. The deadline for applications is on the 17th of April this year. So you approximately have 3 months to complete your application. As I mentioned before, we will be hosting a webinar to explain a little bit more in detail both the announcement opportunity and the application form. And of course, if there are questions concerning the platform user guide or the due diligence form, we will also answer those. We have 5 minutes for questions, and both my colleague from MBRSC, Zakaria, and myself, we are here available to answer your questions in case you have any. So please use the chat in case you want to pose a question, and we'll give you a minute in case you would like to utilize that possibility. Again, we are going to be organizing a webinar that explains more in detail the information that is provided for this initiative. You can start looking at the information that is available there in the website. And you have the link to the website, and I have just explained how to get to the website. And actually, I don't see, well, I start to see questions now. So the first question is coming from, I'm sorry, my screen is very little and I have problems with my eyes. So question is from Lubanga, Christopher, who is asking about the need of having the payload ready by April. No, by 17th of April, what you need to have is to have fill in the application form. For developing the payload, there is actually a schedule that comes after the selection. So you don't have to have your payload ready. There will be your application will be evaluated, against the selection criteria that are marked in the announcement opportunity. Then the applicants that are awarded this opportunity will be notified, where there will be a pre-selection and there will be a notification of the final selection, and then the development can start. I don't know if my colleague Zakaria would like to complement on that. Well, I'm checking the other questions. Is there any mentorship program for being accepted in this program? Actually, no. As I was mentioning before, the initiative itself has three components: the education component, the tools component, and the hands-on component. If you think that you need more theoretical basis, I invite you to have a look at the elements that we have made available in the initiative for the purpose of the education component. There you will see a series of webinars that we organized together with JAXA on how to develop a satellite, and developing a payload is developing one of the subsystems of a satellite. So you will find very useful information there, and we are working to actually increase the information available under the education component, which is currently growing. Actually, the whole initiative is growing, as you can see. Thank you for the information. EU space is to be, sorry, 5U, I'm sorry, 5U space is to be hosted in a satellite. What would be the typical of it? So the maximum size available through this opportunity is 5U. That doesn't mean that you have to go for 5U. It means that the maximum size available and in a configuration that is explained in the PHI user guide is available for this opportunity. I will ask all the participants, if you can mute yourself and your questions, you can paste them on the chat. That would be really appreciated. So as I was saying, you have this maximum volume is to be arranged as is described in the user guide, but you don't have to use the whole volume. You can use a subset of it. Okay, can a government organization participate in the initiative? You can actually see that in the announcement opportunity, in the eligibility. So there are heads of, for instance, research institutions, universities that are eligible to apply to this opportunity. And we had in the past space agencies applying to the opportunities of access to space for all. So just have a look at the selection, at the eligibility criteria that is laid out in the announcement opportunity, and you will find the answer there. But in a nutshell, I would say, in general, yes, but you will have to be aligned with what is described in the announcement opportunity in the eligibility criteria. I don't see more questions, and we are almost in time, 1 minute to have passed. I don't know if any of my colleagues from MBRSC would like to add anything to what I have just commented.
Thank you, Jorge. I think you answered very good, like as we discussed it. And maybe, yeah, the calibration after we selecting the payloads, I think the team gonna be working with MBRSC to see the connections after we selecting, and in this we can see how it can be fitting and going with the milestone that we have on these missions. Of course, our goal is to build a spacecraft in short term, and like. And we can open this approach to have this technology in space. Doesn't mean that we have one payload on one spacecraft. We can have a capability to have multiple payloads on one spacecraft. Before we announced about PHI demo, this is demonstrations, and we're gonna use the same structure or the platform of PHI demo on this initiative. On 5 demo, if somebody doesn't know it, it's like you can check it. We have a two kind of payload. These kind of technology that you can test it on space, and we do have like collaborating with the teams, engineers, and make sure like integrated well and testing together on one subsystems. Yes, I just want to add this one, Jorge. Sorry if I am interrupting, and thank you. You answer the other questions very clear.
Thank you very much, Zakaria. I don't see more questions coming in the chat. I would like to thank you for your participation. To thank the director of UNOOSA, His Excellency, the director of MBRSC, and also the colleagues from MBRSC that have been working with this. And Zakaria, thank you very much for complementing my answers. And I would like to invite you all to the webinar that we'll be organizing soon. Stay tuned for more information about this opportunity and the details that you have to provide for this opportunity. But in the meantime, you have all the information, so get familiar with it and have your questions ready. We will be very happy to answer those. Thank you very much, and have a very nice day. Thank you all.